Hi and welcome to Famous Fitness, where we specialise in helping people get the perfect balance of a healthy lifestyle and enjoying life. Welcome to the first podcast of Famous Fitness. In the podcast today, we'll be going over a few topics. The first one being is why do we put on fat on the body? So I've been getting a few emails about this and text messages, so I think it'd be great to address it in the podcast today. Secondly, leading on from the first point, we'll talk about a few reasons why you need to reduce the excess body fat you have. Then what we'll do is we'll go through some tips and techniques that you can implement right now to reduce the excess body fat. Then finally, and most importantly, we'll go through the mindset that you need to have in place to be able to lose that excess body fat and also to help you with your weight loss along the way. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, why is it we put fat on our body? I'm sure people love the idea of being able to eat chocolate, crisps, takeaways, and not put on any weight at all. We'd all like to live in that world, but unfortunately that's not the case. So let's understand why it happens, and then we can formulate techniques and tips to how to deal with it. Now, the reason you put fat on your body is because your body needs it. So you need a certain level of body fat on to be healthy. Having no fat on you is very unhealthy, but of course, then having too much fat is very unhealthy. So you need to find the healthy range of body fat you need for your frame, also for your age and also for your gender as well. The reason why your body will hold on fat is because it's a fantastic source of energy. So if we break it down into a pound of each macronutrient, in a carbohydrate there are 4 calories, in protein there are 4 calories, and that's in 1 pound for each one. But in 1 pound of fat there are 9 calories, so that's 9 calories of energy. So in 1 pound of fat there is over double the amount of energy than in 1 pound of protein and 1 pound of carbohydrate. Now the reason why your body needs the energy is because it needs the energy to perform its daily functions, the normal functions we take for granted. Heart pumping blood around the body, your lungs working, your kidneys, your liver, your intestines, all that requires energy. So your body is going to need the best source of energy, and for us, it's fat. Now what we touched on earlier, where it gets bad is when there's an excess level of body fat. That's when it gets dangerous. And of course, when there's too little body fat, that also becomes dangerous. So bear in mind, the reason why you hold on fat to your body is because it is a fantastic source of energy for the body to help it perform its daily functions. So now we know why it is our body holds on to the fat. Now let's discuss the reason why you should be looking to reduce your body fat. Now we did touch on earlier, having too much body fat is bad for you, but also having too little body fat is also bad for you. But now we're going to touch on the reason why having too much body fat is dangerous. So there's 2 types of fat you'll have. So you'll have the fat that's on the surface level called your tissue fat, and that's where you'll get the big belly. If you slap it, you get the ripple effect. The other fat that you need to be careful of is a thing called your visceral fat. Now your visceral fat is naked to the eye and you can't see it. This is why it's dangerous. Now the visceral fat is fat that surrounds all your vital organs. So it surrounds your kidneys, your liver, your small intestines, your large intestines, and this is the fat that makes it really hard for your vital organs to work and to perform its daily functions. Now the fat around the tissue, around the belly, that is dangerous as well because it causes more weight for you to carry, it puts more pressure and strain on your joints, but it's the visceral fat that really puts a lot of pressure on your vital organs. So just imagine this, you're working, a normal working week is 40 hours. Manager comes up and said there's a project that we need to work towards. So in your mind you say to yourself, well, I don't mind doing an extra 15 to 20 hours a week just to get this project work done. So it's going to mean you're going to have to take your work home, you're going to have to do it at the weekend, but your mindset is in a place where you don't mind doing it because there's a cut-off point. So it may be 2 days, it may be 2 or 3 weeks, but you know eventually the workload you're putting on yourself does have a cut-off point, so you don't mind doing it. Now let's imagine you get to that cut-off point and your manager says to you, oh, by the way, now you have done these extra 15 to 20 hours, you're going to have to carry on doing it now, and there's no get out from it. If you carry on doing that, an extra 20 to 15 hours a week, what's going to happen to you over time? You're going to get fatigued, you're going to be exhausted, you're going to snap, you're going to get angry, you're going to be grouchy, because you're not giving yourself time to relax, re-energize, and then go again. Now the same concept applies to your body and especially your vital organs. If you're building up your levels of fat, not only does the fat tissue cause extra pressure on the joints, but the extra fat around the vital organs, your visceral fat, means your internal and your vital organs get no rest at all. Even when you're sleeping, when you think you are resting, your vital organs are still going to be working in overdrive. So of course then what's going to happen? Well, it'll be the same thing that happens if you were to work an extra 20 hours a week all the time. It gets exhausted, it gets tired, it gets fatigued. So then what happens to the body when it does get exhausted, tired and fatigued? It then can't fight off diseases, infections. It can't recover quickly or properly from an injury. So you need to give your body the best chance to fight off diseases and to look after yourself when you have hurt yourself. But if you have high levels of body fat, and especially fat around the vital organs, your body gets no chance to relax or to recover or to recoup any energy it's used. So it has so much energy put in place to perform its daily functions because it's under so much stress and pressure because of the high levels of body fat. When it comes to needing more energy to fight off diseases and to fight off injuries, it's just depleted. And this is why you get ill, and this is why it's hard to recover from injuries. So always remember, if you look after your body will look after you. So that's one of the main reasons you want to make sure that you don't have high levels of body fat on your frame. Okay, so we've now touched on the reasons why we put fat into our body, and we've also touched on the reasons why you should be looking to reducing the body fat that you have on your frame. Now let's go over a few tips that you can start to implement today to help reduce your body fat. Now the first thing is to cut out all the processed food. Now the advantage of the processed food is it's quick, it's easy, and it does taste nice, but it's going to cause so much more fat to be put into your body. In the long term, it's not even going to be worth it, and it'll do more damage than good. So to get around having no processed food, you need to make sure that you're eating the meals as you go. If you can't do that, this is where it becomes vitally important that you prep your meals or you have a food diary. So you know what you're going to eat for breakfast, lunch and dinner, Monday all the way through to Sunday. Now it will take a little bit of work at first to get it all up and running, but as soon as it does, it will allow you to have the time to make meals that are filled with fresh fruit, vegetables, nice clean cuts of meat. So you'll cut out all the processed food. The other thing you want to be doing is drinking plenty of water. Too often we're drinking sugary drinks. You've got drive-through now for Starbucks, Costa. Everything's just accessible, just high in sugar. But plenty of water. So what it will do, it will help flush out all the junk from your body. The third you want to do is keep a food diary. Now this is really important. The reason why you want to keep a food diary is because when you jump on the scales, if you get good results or numbers that you are looking for, you can look back at your food diary from the week just gone and then have that as your blueprint of success. So if eating all of that has given you positive results, then you know what you're doing is right, so keep to that food diary. But also it works the other way. If you jump on the scales and you haven't got the numbers that you're looking for, still look back at that week that just gone, and then you can highlight things that didn't go well, and you can start to nitpick, say, well, I'll take that out, and then next week you can try it with an even cleaner nutrition diary. So always make sure you fill a nutrition diary because it gives you a reference point of the work you've done the week before. And the last thing you want to be doing to get that body fat off you is just get yourself moving. Now, this doesn't have to be a marathon run. You don't need to go and start boxing for 12 rounds or go into a 5-minute round MMA fight. Just get yourself moving, be it a walk, a light jog, just do some light weights, nothing crazy. Just start getting yourself active and start getting your body moving again. The final thing we're going to touch on today in the podcast is getting your mindset right. Your brain is the most powerful thing that you have. It's the thing that's going to tell you first thing in the morning that you're a beautiful person, but it's also the same thing that's going to tell you you're worthless and that you're not worth working on. So you need to make sure you train your brain to help you in your journey. Now, when it comes to weight loss and reducing your body fat, with a lot of people, there's so much emotional attachment to their weight. If they don't get the results, it can really, really hurt them and upset them. Now, one problem I have when you see these celebrity diets and these trends and these sort of fads they go through, all they show you is the results you can achieve, but they never tell you the mindset you need to have to go along the process. So you probably find out that there's some people that you can tell them a set of rules to follow and they can implement it straight away and they'll get results. There's some people that you'll tell the rules that they need to follow and it'll take them ages to start to implement them. There's some people who will start to implement them straight away, but then a few weeks and months later, they're back to what they're doing. Now, what's the difference between those different people? It's the mindset they have to what needs to be done to get the job done. So what we're going to do is go through a few things that you need to keep in mind to get your mindset right for this weight loss journey and also for this body fat reducing journey as well. So the first thing you need to do is understand that it's not all going to be smooth sailing. From where you are from point A, from where you are to point B, and point B is when you get your final result, it's not a straight line. There'll be up, downs, 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 a couple of ups, back down, back down, back down, back down, back down, all the way back up again. But that happens all the time. There is nobody who I've ever worked with from point A to point B who's had smooth sailing and no problems. There will be some tough times there. There will be some times where you probably don't want to do it anymore. But that's where you need to train your mind to say, everybody goes through that. Everybody goes through the stage where they think to themselves, why am I doing this? Why am I going to the training session when it hurts me? Why am I prepping my meals instead of sitting down in front of the TV and watching my favourite TV show? Sometimes 3, 4, 5 episodes in one night. So always understand, it's not going to be smooth sailing. Now, the quicker you can be honest with yourself about it, then the more realistic the target is. Secondly, when you come along your failures, which they will happen, see that as part of your success. See that part as your story. Because eventually when you do hit your targets and you get the results you're looking for, you're going to be telling people about it, or most certainly people will be noticing what it is that you've achieved. Of course, then what are you going to tell them? You say, look, I failed a few times, or I failed quite a lot, but do you know what I did? I didn't quit, and I carried on working on it, and now I've got the results. So anytime you jump on the scale and you fail because you don't get the numbers you're looking for, see that as part of your success story. See that as one more obstacle and one more thing that you overcame to get to where you want it to be. And finally, what you need to keep in mind for your mindset when it comes into this journey is that you're not going to get it right straight away. Now this relates to the other 2 points that we touched on. You need to understand straight away it's not going to work for you. Some people have this idea that if they want to lose weight, say Monday evening, by Tuesday morning, they've got it. They know how to do their meal plans, they know how to do their trainer sessions, they know how to say no to all the junk food. It doesn't work like that. So you're not going to be perfect straight away, but don't worry about it because nobody is. It's a process. But over time, the more you work on it, you'll get better and better and better and better at it. But you'll have a constant dialogue with your brain all the time. You'll jump on the scales, you won't get the results that you're doing, so your mind's saying, there's no point doing it. But what you need to do is say to yourself, no, we go again. So the conversation over a few weeks may go like this with your mindset. You jump on the scale, didn't get the results. Your brain's going to say to you, go again. Then you say, how'd it go this week? I didn't get the results I was looking for. Brain says, not a problem, we go again. How'd it go this week? Didn't get the results I was looking for. Brain says, go again. How did it go this week? And finally you can say, I got it. I sussed it out. But you only get to that point where you suss it out by going through those failures in the first time. And this is why we touched on earlier about having your nutrition diary and your meal plan there, because it gives you something to refer back to. So over time you can make it better and better and better and better. So it's not going to be perfect right away. It never is. Nothing anybody does is perfect instantly. It's a process. So bear in mind, failure is part of it. See failure as part of your success story, and it's not going to be perfect right away. But you need to make sure that you keep on working on it. And eventually you will get there. Believe me, you will do. But you need to keep working on it. Guys, thank you very much for your time today. I hope you enjoyed the first Famous Fitness podcast. I must admit, I absolutely love doing it. These are going to be coming out every week on a Sunday. If you guys want to know any information, be it on fitness, nutrition, or motivation, please get me in contact and I'll start formulating some podcasts based on your feedback and what it is you want to listen to. Guys, all the best, and if there's anything that we can help with here at Famous Fitness, please get in contact. We're always happy to help. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.